Hey guys, it's Erica from Bravo T with the Stay at Home Mom.
And it's Christina the Bravo, babe. We're super
And
excited
we
because
are
this is
here to
something new.
collaborate.
Yes, this is something new.
Yes.
We're going to do a little check-in once a month, talk about the franchises that are airing, any new gossip that's happening in the Bravo world. We'll do a monthly check-in with you guys.
Love it. All the hot tea. And I feel like Bravo is back. Like this week was jam-packed, don't you think, with shows?
It really was. Even the Watch What Happens live episodes.
I know. So I saw clips today of Lindsay Lohan, and I have to just call her Gretchen Wieners. I didn't watch it the other night. I'm so upset. I was like tired, but I have to watch it.
She looks phenomenal. Like
This is her
it's the best
comeback.
it's her comeback. She's looked the best she's ever looked.
I agree. Like, I was disappointed. I didn't watch the other Mean Girls movie because I thought it
Mhm.
would have been cool for a sequel aspect to do like all the girls, and now they're moms and like their daughters are
Oh,
friends in high school.
that would have been so cute.
Yeah, like the fact that they weren't in it, I was kind of like, I don't really want to watch it.
Mhm.
And then it was like a musical.
Right. Lindsay Lohan did say that she loves Salt Lake City. She like the Real
Oh,
Housewives. She
really?
loves Salt Lake City. Yeah.
I was wondering because, like, usually I feel like Andy tries to pick people that watch something on Bravo. So I was like, I
Right.
wonder what the 2 of them watch, like, what their favorite thing is.
Yeah, definitely. She said Salt Lake City. So he should have dug more into it and said like, who's your favorite? What did you think of this episode? But yeah, she likes Salt Lake City.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Did you watch that show she had on MTV?
Where it was like her chaotic life, kind of her.
The, like,
Yes.
beach club thing? Yeah, and then it got
Yeah.
canceled, like, we never even found out who won.
Right.
That was pretty funny. Because I still watch Jersey Shore, that's pretty much the only time I still tune into MTV. Just have to keep tabs on them.
It's been a long running show.
I know, but, like, honestly, they're all kinda, like, getting boring except, like, Snooki and Dina still like to, like, throw it down with the wine, and then
Oh, geez.
Angelina is, like she's, like, annoying dramatic, and
Mm.
then the situation is, like, he could be a woman in the next life because he loves to, like, stir the pot and be gossipy.
He's like Bryn.
Yeah, but, like, Pauly D's pretty boring for as exciting as his life probably is. He's kinda boring on the show. Like, he has funny jokes, but he never, like, drinks when they do their trips, and Vinny really doesn't either.
So they're probably just aging out of the show too. They've been on
Yeah.
TV for a long, I mean, I watched it years ago. I mean, like 10 plus years ago when it was like bright and new.
Yeah, and they were wild.
They were so wild.
I, like, kinda miss that time because, like but I get it. I also like to watch them grow up, kinda like Vanderpump. Like, I like to see, "Oh, you were, like, wild, and we were the same age, but now you're a mom just like me, same
Right.
age."
And
Yeah,
you're
what do
still
you
pretty wild.
think what do you think yeah. What do you think about the whole Jackson Brittany thing?
There's a lot to unpack with it. I feel like The Valley season 2 is going to be like appointment television. You need to sit down and watch it every week.
Mhm.
I think that Brittany opening her Brits bar like down the street from where Jack's Studio City was, I feel like that's an interesting move.
Mhm.
Both of them being bar owners is different, I guess. I really just think and hope they're putting their son first and not doing any of the drama in front of him because there's enough drama playing out online for, you know what I mean? Like,
I know.
hopefully it's a nice, calm
Just them going
environment.
back and
And
forth.
well, and then Jack said on the Hot Mike podcast with Alex Baskin that Brittany was hitting
Mhm.
him up days prior, and then Brittany clapped back and she was like, "Oh no, 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 it was not like that."
Yeah, like, he's annoying. So, he's lucky because not only did she put up with so much crap, but you could tell that even the crap he put her through, she was gonna co-parent with him and still do, like, "Let's go to Disneyland for the day. Let's maybe all have dinner together." That doesn't mean she wants to sleep with you. She's actually
Right.
just being a nice divorced co-parenting mom, which a lot of people don't get, but I think he flushed that down the toilet, him trying to embarrass her like that.
Mhm. And if he did that, I can only imagine what he did during the season before his mental health rehab stay, what
Mm.
put him there. I'm sure we're going to see just a terrible Jax Taylor again.
I know, my thought is, like, the camera's gonna go down, it's gonna be like a black screen, and it's gonna be like, "We could not continue filming this," but Jax then checked into a mental health facility because apparently he did
Mhm.
something, him and Brittany, like, or said something while they were filming, and the camera people were like, "You need to go get help or else you're just fired."
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So, I wanna know what he did, and I wanna read those texts. Like, he's being a little jerk. She should just show the receipts. I wanna see what he was rage
Mhm.
texting in the mental health facility. Like, he's
While he
acting
was
like
there.
yeah, he's acting like he's had, like, a come to Jesus moment, but yet he's texting her like Tequila Katie.
Right.
Like, that's what it made me think of when they would show her text. I mean, they would embarrass her and show her
So why
text,
not?
and they were
Hopefully they
mean.
embarrass Jax. Hopefully they pull the text out.
I mean, you know what? He deserves it because I don't even understand, like, I know we can all bicker, but it's like, I don't even understand why he was so mean to her. Like, you can tell she's just a nice, genuine person, unlike a lot of people
Yes.
out there probably.
The way he would bother her about her stomach issues last season, and he was screaming at her when he was in the kitchen and she was in the bedroom dealing with her, you know,
Mhm.
health, and he was putting her down even then. There's so much that I could say about Jackson Brittany, but I think the Valley season 2 is going to be major. And it's not
Yes.
gonna we're not gonna miss Vanderpump.
Yeah. So what do you think so that'll be a next good thing to talk about. Like, what do you think will happen with Vanderpump? I feel like they do need, like, a send-off season because I feel like we could have ended how we did last year with them. Like, I was, like, crying during their little montage at the end, but
Right,
I feel
right.
like we need one more season.
So I feel like we need one more season. And originally I had heard for 2 weeks. It was going to be a shortened season, kind of to wrap everything up. But now I'm hearing maybe that might not even happen. So who knows at this point? I feel like it's so uncertain because,
That's such a pain, and I read that it was because Ariana and Lala are, like, holding out for more money, and I'm like, "Come on." I'm like, especially Ariana, like, I love her, and I think it's great everything she's doing, but
Mhm.
it's like, do you really need more money? Because you just bought a house all on your own from all your other endeavors you're doing.
Right. And it's like Bravo only has so much to give out, and the cast knows that.
Yeah, and they're, like, honestly all OGs, so I bet they all make a lot of money. Like,
I'm sure.
Lala and James and I guess almost Ariana too. They're not season 1, but they
Right.
basically were from the get-go.
Right. Right. So I can, yeah. And Sheena, the Tom. So I mean, it's probably not in the budget for them to be making demands.
I know, and then it's kinda like when you demand too much like that, they'll just probably be like, "Alright, well, we'll just cut your show."
Right.
Like, because 'cause
And then
they're
we'll just
already
watch right, we'll just watch Southern Hospitality because that trailer came out, and
Yeah,
I'm
do you
not
watch that?
sure how involved you were with the previous seasons.
I didn't
If
watch it.
Oh my goodness.
Was it good?
So, if you want, like, nostalgic Vanderpump vibes, the cast
Oh,
is so good. They have
really?
real relationships with each other, they're dating, they're intertwining, they know each other
Oh,
outside of the show. It is so good.
I gotta
Um
watch it.
So good. Like, I can't say enough good things about it. And the trailer for this new season looks phenomenal. Two of the main cast members are teased to be getting married in Vegas, which looks very chaotic.
Oh my god.
You need to catch up and
And
watch. And
isn't,
if
Taylor dating someone on there from Southern Charm? Are they still together? Isn't his name Gaston or something? And all I think of is Beauty and the Beast.
so he was shown, I believe, maybe once, but he's not like a main cast member.
Oh, I just thought that was interesting. I'm like, "Oh, it's kinda like Paige and Craig." I'm like, "You're on 2 different shows and you're
Right, and
dating
it's
each other."
Leva's bar, it's Leva's I mean, there's, I guess, 3 different it's almost like Vanderpump style where she owns that street in Charleston, like, she has her and her husband have multiple locations, and this is
What
at
a
the one called
boss.
Republic. And Republic is like bottle service, the whole 9 yards, and it's about the managers, the wait staff, it's so good.
I watched Southern Charm, and when they segued, they did almost like what they did back in the day with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and then remember they segued, like,
into
into
VPRs.
Vanderpump, and
Right.
I was like I guess I was just like, "Oh, no, I don't have time for another show." Like
It's good. And I don't think it's like a long binge. I think you could binge it in like a weekend.
yeah, especially if there's only one other season, I could do it.
So
But
everybody
I'm excited
listening,
for
just
Southern
give it
Charm.
a chance. Oh my, me too. And what's
Mhm.
with JT? Did you see that?
I know, let's talk about that. So, did you notice the common denominator of him making that post? It looked like Teresa and Louis when they sent that apology, the, like, orange background and the white font,
That's funny.
and I'm like, "Is someone from Bravo just writing all this for them?"
And
It's
they have
weird.
the same PR person.
Oh, they do?
No, I'm just no,
Oh,
no,
oh,
no.
oh, because that would, like, make sense though. Because 'cause I'm like, "Why
Right?
is
It
it the
would.
same ugly thing?" So, I just had my niece on my podcast the other week, and she said she was listening she listens to Giggly Squad all the time,
Mhm.
and in their live show, someone was like, "Oh, what do you think about JT?" And Paige was like, "Well, let me just say no one gets fired." Or I mean, no one quits. That's what she said. I'm sorry. Mixed up. Like,
Oh,
no one just quits. And then I'm like, "Well, actually, like, people have quit."
right.
And I know some people have
It's
lied.
I'm confused then because he quit or left like mid confessionals. Like they still had confessionals to film. So why would production let you know what I mean? That doesn't feel
Yeah, that's why I feel like he
correct.
quit. Like, I understand
Right.
what she's saying because some of these people I feel like do lie, and they're like, "Oh, I
Oh, right.
decided to leave," and it's like, "No, you suck, you were fired."
Mhm.
But I don't think they like, let's say they did wanna fire him, they would wait till the reunion's done,
That's what I was thinking.
because then he wouldn't show up to the reunion.
And like to leave confessionals open ended doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and they would want you to do all the press for the show. Bravo's smart. They're not gonna,
Right.
like unless you did something totally awful.
Right. Hmm. We'll have to keep watching JT.
I know, because I'm just fascinated. I thought he was gonna be obsessed with Taylor forever, but now apparently he's moving on to Vanita, and I guess apparently she's single.
Oh, and it looks like Madison goes at him in the preview for the new season.
Yeah, so I wonder if, like, something like that made him quit, like, whatever's
Maybe.
happening with that, or, like, him and Austin, like, probably did not have a good season because it ended with them, like, fighting.
Right. That was a hilarious fight too.
I know, and now that Rod isn't on, I feel like JT doesn't have like, those aren't his friends.
They're not. He never really had that connection with them.
Yeah. And it's probably creepy that, like, he professes love to Taylor and she's like, "No."
He was like, "Ah."
Except it has to be hard for her to film with Shep.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I
Like,
saw
I would
that
think.
Olivia has her own, like, podcast show coming out,
Ooh.
and it's about when you're off season from the reality show that you're on.
Oh, I like that.
I
Like, so
believe
she'll
I
have different
saw
people on?
yeah, so I saw that I think Sheena was one of the guests. Um, it's on her page. It looks super fun.
Oh, I like see, I loved Olivia, and I listened to I think she actually went on Sheena's podcast when she said she wasn't coming back, like, she wasn't asked back, and they were like, "Oh, we see that, like, you're, like, in Dallas a lot and that your life is just not about the show anymore," and she's like, "Well, I didn't know I, like, had to be in Charleston, like,
Right,
on
and she
call."
said, "I'm only in there, like, half the time. I split my time." Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was weird because I really liked Olivia, and if I had to pick one to go, it would have been Taylor
Same.
because I was all team Olivia.
I was too. I think everybody was.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, I feel like Madison doesn't like Taylor, so how are they gonna film together? I feel like Craig doesn't either.
Yeah, the cast dynamic is different this season.
I know, I wonder if we're gonna get Paige a lot,
I hope so.
and I think it's interesting that Shep and Austin are gonna give Craig, like, shit kind of because I think Craigie's getting his stuff together and he's impressive.
I think that he is the best Real Housewife on Bravo.
Mhm. Yeah, I
You know what I
know.
mean?
Yeah. I
He
know,
really
like,
is.
him doing his, like, pillow ads, like, he's like,
Yes.
like, posing.
And the way he's always like in the drama, but he's not in it fully. He doesn't go,
Yeah.
immerse himself, but he's in the background, like watching and knowing what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, he's just not a F-boy anymore, and I feel like Austin and Shep, like, still are,
Oh, definitely.
and they're just mad at him, but he's changing for the better and just maturing.
You know who I wish would change for the better and mature is PK and Mauricio when they were
Oh
when
my
we
god.
talking about Beverly Hills, we can switch into that.
I know, yeah, let's
We had
switch
the
into that.
we had the premiere episode.
Mhm.
So many thoughts.
Well, first of all, like, Dorit, why now is PK a full-blown alcoholic? Like
And
it
she
was
is
so
and she
funny.
is blasting it.
I know. She's like when she met Bose, she's like, "Yeah, my husband and I are getting divorced," which is like, "Whoa, pump the brakes. You did just meet her." Even though I know it's like, you're gonna be filming together, which they know that.
Right.
And then she's like, "And my husband's an alcoholic." It's like, damn.
Just putting it all out there.
I know. Do you think it's mean that, like, no one even texts her? Like, Erika and her had that conversation, but, like, I can't believe Kyle, even though they're fighting, I can't believe Kyle texts PK and not Dorit because I do like Kyle, but Kyle should know she went through the same thing like a year prior. How would
Mhm.
she feel? Like, even when you're having a petty fight with someone, that's serious. Like, you should text them.
You should, and you should not text a significant other.
Mhm.
I feel like the four of them were friends, sure, only to an extent, according to Kyle.
Yeah.
But text your girl. Make sure that she's okay. Even if she's not your girl right now, you guys were very close for a long time. You film a show together. You have
Yeah.
to know this is going to be brought up on camera. Just shoot the text message. Then again,
Mhm.
on the flip side of it, the last time Kyle sent Dorit a long message and it was from the heart, Dorit decided to read it for the world to see. So maybe Kyle was still holding back because of that.
I know. I know. I feel like they're playing tit for tat because I think
Oh,
some of the
yeah.
things they're mad about is stupid. Like, I can't believe Kyle is that mad about the BravoCon thing because I do think that's stupid. Like, obviously, Dorit was trying to joke.
I thought it was
Like, obviously,
cheeky.
she
Like
likes
it's
you. Yeah.
right. Like I didn't think it was anything to be mad about.
And then when she spilled it, like, oh, well, now you're not my favorite because you spilled the shot on her. And that's funny. Like, I would
Right. It
say
was
something like that.
yeah, it was just a silly, cute little moment. I don't think that Kyle, even in that moment, was upset about it. I think that looking back on it, she needed reasons to give Dorit of why she didn't
Mhm.
think she was being a good friend. And she was like, oh, remember at BravoCon? Let me just pull that one out of my back pocket.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that, like, them going through this separation, both of them, that she kinda didn't almost put it aside a little bit
Mhm. Right.
or, like, get over the stuff. I don't know. I know the Kathy stuff hurt her feelings a lot.
Right. And I mean, rightfully so. I did think that Dorit walking into Kathy Hilton's and we see that episode one and we don't see her walking into Kyle's was very telling, to where their friendship is and where it's going to be, I think, for the whole season.
I know, and Dorit was like, "Kathy's been very supportive and everything," but that's also production saying like, "Alright, Dorit, go to Kathy's house today and talk to her." You know what
Mhm.
I mean?
Right.
Like, they kinda navigate what they should be doing. How about Kathy, though? Getting, like, the IV drip, lip mask, eye mask, hair blown out, then makeup done, having, like, a coffee or a protein shake. I'm like, I wanna come back to life as Kathy Hilton.
Yes, we are living in her world. We are watching this happen.
Yeah.
Episode
Like,
one, when
she
she walks, I can't. I can't.
she is just like, "I don't care what anyone thinks about me because I am Kathy Hilton." So, like, I don't care. Like,
Exactly.
her taking those hair extensions out at that party, she's like literally sits down as soon as she gets there, she's like, "I'm hot." And then she's taking the clips out.
Could you imagine seeing that in real life?
No, I'd be like and that's funny too because, like, when you have so much money, you have almost like a class, upper class, like Heather Dubrow, like fancy pants. So I think it's funny that Kathy, like, doesn't have that sometimes. Like she's a
Mhm.
classy lady, but her sitting down doing that, that's a little inappropriate.
Right, and I can never see Heather Dubrow doing that, but Kathy Hilton is Kathy Hilton,
Never.
and when you have that status, I guess nothing will take it away, even taking out your hair extensions.
I know, and I love she is savage on the next episode when they show the preview, and she's, like, saying Kyle looks so good she could be Maurizio's daughter, and that he's, like, aged. Like
And the
and
editors
then
are
she's
so
like,
shady
"Oh."
because they show the pictures of him.
Yeah, and then, like, yeah, the thirst trap pictures, and she's, like, pumping the weights, and I'm like, "Kathy just gives 0
Yes.
Fs."
0.
Well, I, like, wanna know what because you can tell watching Kyle last night, or what was it last night, 2 nights ago, whatever. She does not want this. She does not wanna be living alone practically. She wanted to, like, I feel like spend the rest of her life with Maurizio. What do you think happened? She said no infidelity.
No infidelity, I mean, trust maybe was broken here and there. Maybe no infidelity, but maybe they really did just grow apart. It's hard to tell because she is closed off with the reasoning. And
Mhm.
then, she says that he's allowed to date, she's allowed to date, but it still upsets her. She's not filing, they are filing. It's a lot of mixed messages to where Dorit is giving us clear, concise answers as to what's going on. And I think
Mhm.
that if Kyle did last season, is doing this season, then the viewers would have a lot more respect for her.
Yeah, and it's kinda like, obviously, I feel bad for you, but you've chosen to be on reality TV. Good or bad that's happening in your life, you need to share. Like,
Right.
last season, all she said was, "There was one thing that happened that I could not come back from." Well, what was that one thing? Tell
Right,
us.
what was it? Or at least
Yeah.
some kind of like, if it wasn't infidelity, then was it financial? What was it?
Which is weird to me. I can't really see him doing anything crazy financial. I don't know. And then it's like,
Right.
it can't be the Hilton stuff because that's been years,
Right.
like, with the agency. So she can't all of a sudden now be like, "Oh, I'm so mad you left my family's business."
Mhm. And now
I
it's
mean,
just her
unless
and
she only
Portia.
considers infidelity. I know, unless she only considers infidelity, like, physical.
Hmm. I think that when
But if
trust was
someone's in the
broken, I
DMs,
could
that
see.
counts.
Right, that's what I'm saying, like, DMs, I could see trust being
Mhm.
broken. Maybe that happened multiple times. Um, I
Yeah.
wonder what the straw that broke the camel's back was, though, because it's a very final thing to move out from your home with your family.
Well, and then it's like now this season, she's, like, alone, and he actually did move out, and they are formally separated, and she's like, "Sad. Last season, he's living there, you're married, and you're hanging out with Morgan Wade getting tattoos."
Who? Because all of a sudden, she's not saying her name this season. Did you notice that when she was like, "I'm not saying her name."
Yes.
She filmed last
It's, like, too
season.
late.
Like,
Too
what's
late. Too
happening?
late.
She's been no.
And Morgan Wade wanted to be around Kyle to get popular because who was Morgan Wade before the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Who was she?
Mhm, exactly, and I
I
wonder
mean,
what
I don't
happened
believe that.
to the documentary that they were working on.
Yes, and, like, why aren't you, "Oh, she's just your friend, it's normal to follow your friend around all over the world. Why aren't you still doing that? Because you broke up. Because
Right,
you
why are you
were
not
dating."
saying her name all of a sudden? Right,
Mhm, and they're not together, I creep on the Instagram all the time.
they're
But
not.
Kyle
They did
does
go to
like
Africa
Morgan's pictures.
together,
Oh,
um,
they did?
about a month ago. They went to Africa together.
Maybe, like, mentally, it was, like, a lot of the press
Mhm.
for Morgan, and she was going
It
through,
would
like,
have
that,
been.
the breast cancer stuff, but I don't
Right.
know, it's like, well, welcome to being famous, good or
Mhm.
bad, and usually it's bad publicity that gets you a lot of attention. Like, if you're doing
Especially
good, no
if
one
you're
cares.
right, and especially if you're going to be known or famous because of reality TV.
Mhm. I know, I just feel like they were so close last season, and now it's like you said, I can't even say her name, and I guess we're not gonna see her at all.
I don't think we will. I think that she'll be talked about a lot, but I don't think we're
Mhm.
going to see her.
I feel like she also couldn't say that they had a relationship because she was still married.
And she didn't talk to her daughters. And I mean, I don't think we'll ever get the true story because if we were going to, I feel like she would have done it at the reunion last year. And even that
Mhm.
then, or she was the reality star of the year for Us Weekly. They had a whole, full editorial on her, and she never brought it up.
Mhm.
So she's had all these big opportunities that if she wanted to, she had the platform to do it, but she never did. So I don't think we'll ever get, the full story.
Yeah. I know Garcelle did justice for us all. She's like, "So you're not together?" And I'm like, "Thank you for asking that."
She asked the questions that we wanted to know.
Yes, I'm like, "Maybe you should be Andy Cohen now." Even though he did ask last when they showed, like, flashbacks of the reunion, and she literally took so long to say no.
She did. She thought about it.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Why you have to think about it if it's a no?"
It was a quick no.
I know. And then Maurizio's show isn't coming back on Netflix, which I'm sad.
I know. I actually did enjoy that show.
Me too, and he gave us more info and insight in him and Kyle
hmm
than she did.
And they had some good real
I don't know,
estate.
maybe
It
they do
was
it because the daughters.
they might.
I know. And then that guy that used to work for Hilton and Highland, like, jumped ship, the funny guy, and, like,
hmm
worked for them. So I thought that was, like, juicy. I
Yeah,
liked
there's
the show.
I did too. It was good like background noise show to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Well,
the daughters were
with
all in it.
Yeah. With the Beverly Hills episode and they had the surrealism party, there was a lot to get into and it was a to be continued. We see the rest of it next week. Where we are
Mhm.
now, how do you even break it down? What did you think of the whole party, the Dorit and Kyle of it? What are your thoughts?
I love that Dorit is not tiptoeing around Kyle, because I think if I was in Dorit's shoes too, I'd be like, "Listen, I was there for you last year when you were going through the separation, even though you were, like, doing Amazon Live saying we're not really friends, and now I'm going through my separation and you text my alcoholic soon to be ex-husband, but not me,
Right.
and then you wanna sit here and be like, 'Oh, you've done this, this, and this to me.'" It's like, Dorit's just like, "I'm not putting up with this shit anymore," and Kyle was doing, did you notice this? The same thing to Dorit when they were having this conversation that she did to Sutton. Even though Sutton seemed a little kooky during the "Name 'em," Kyle was like, "I don't think you're all right now." With Sutton,
Yeah,
she, like,
she's
did that
like
to Dorit,
alluding to, right. She was alluding to something. Like if you think the girl's drunk, just say, "Are you drunk right now?"
and
You know
Dorit
what I mean?
is not a big drinker.
No, I didn't think that. I just yeah, we didn't see the three lemons carcass out.
Yeah, so, like, even last season when Kyle's like, "Oh, well, we can't be friends because you don't, like, hike and you drink alcohol," it's like, Dorit doesn't even drink that much.
Right.
And, like, she could meet you for lunch and, like, not have alcohol. And,
Most
like,
people
sorry
should.
you're, like, now training for, like, the Iron Man, but, like, you didn't used to do that. I feel like Kyle changed a lot, which is fine, but then don't be mad at other people that they've just stayed the same.
Right, right. And she kept saying to Dorit that she had a terrible 2 years. She had a terrible 2 years. And then Dorit said, "That's not an excuse to be the way that you have been."
Mhm.
And it made me think instantly of Lisa Vanderpump when she was going through a hard time and she had lost her brother, and the girls ganged up on her when she really needed them, and Kyle was the leader of it. And now it's kind of
Yes.
like a role reversal, and Kyle's having a hard time, and now she doesn't feel the support, kind of the same way that Lisa Vanderpump didn't feel the support.
Mhm. Even though, like, I feel like it's like, "Well, Kyle, your marriage was on the chopping block last season, it's Dorit's turn."
Yeah.
Like, it's Dorit's turn, be there for her now.
Yes, I agree. And I think that their conversation, we lead into next week, and Bravo put out a teaser of the first couple minutes for next week's episode. And it seems like it's a long-winded, if you will,
Mhm.
conversation that does not end with resolution.
Yeah, and then, like, later in the season when they, like, yell at each other at that bar over, like, a
Mhm.
table, and then Kyle I like during, like, the whole, like, trailer, Kyle's, like, storming off in that robe and she's crying, and the new girl was like, "Where's she going?" She seems like she's gonna be fun.
Jennifer Tilly?
Oh, no, Bose.
Oh,
Or
definitely both.
is that how you
Jennifer
say it?
Tilly, we just
Yeah,
see a
Bose.
little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, she's fun too.
And I think that
I thought it was
Sutton
interesting
bringing her
Sutton got
in.
the opening scene.
Mhm. She did.
I think
And
they'll be good.
I saw that the cast photo, I think it's Kyle, Dorit, and Sutton that are the first 3. I could be wrong, but I was surprised Sutton got the opening intro.
I know, like, I really thought it was gonna be Kyle, just because
It
she's the
usually is.
longest.
Right, it
Yeah,
usually is, and it's who you wanna see the most, but it was
I
a good
know.
episode. I'm glad that Erika seems to be in a really good place. I'm a big Erika fan. She seems to be like
Same.
she's in a good place. She was friendly with everybody. She doesn't seem to have drama going on right now, and I love that for her. So I think
Mhm.
that it's going to be a great season for Erika.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a good cast, a good season because I feel it was a mistake to have Anne-Marie last year, but
Oh
I
yeah,
was just listening to a podcast, and I forget who it was, but they said that we didn't see a lot of stuff except the esophagus thing because her and Crystal were arguing about politics a lot.
I heard that. I heard that she said she didn't get a good edit. I didn't know that she found out her mother had, I believe it was breast cancer. I could be wrong. Her mother had
Mhm.
some kind of illness and then her mother passed away and they didn't
Yeah.
show any of that. So she
Yeah,
didn't get a good edit.
yeah, and I can believe that. I know some people use that as an excuse, but I was kinda like, "Is this really all she's talking about? This esophagus thing?" But it's because they couldn't use so much of it. But then I'm like, "Well, why were the 2 of you talking about stuff you knew they would probably cut out?"
Exactly. Maybe, yeah. Anne Marie
I
was
don't
not a
miss
good
Crystal
casting
either.
choice regardless. Oh, Crystal was
Do
she
you miss
called
Crystal?
people out. I don't miss her. I feel like she brought something by calling people out. Um, but I don't think that she would I don't want to say she's not missed, but I didn't miss her in the first episode.
I think Sutton and Garcelle will call people out, so I'm fine with
Mhm.
that. And then
How do
Dorit's
you
obviously gonna call Kyle out all season.
right. And I think Sutton does a lot too.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, "I don't have to bow down to the altar of Kyle Richards."
Powerful.
I know. Her accent gets thicker when she wants it to.
Mhm. When she wants it to be known what she said, she'll bring it out.
Yeah, and I think they go to Augusta for filming. So I guess they're gonna go
Oh.
to, like, her family house or something.
Oh.
I just can't believe how much money she gets every month from her ex-husband because it, like, flashed up on my Instagram, and I'm like, "Wait, I, like, forgot it was that much." She gets $350,000 a
A
month.
month. That is the
A
and that
month.
does yeah, and that I believe that there was more that she gets when it comes to, like, whether it was their stocks or their something, she gets more than just that monthly, like, that was the monetary amount. It's insane. She's rich,
That's insane.
rich.
Yeah. Well, remember when she came on at the beginning, Lisa Rinna was like, "She's rich, honey."
Yes.
I do miss Lisa Rinna.
Lisa Rinna, that woman. I miss her.
I just feel like she's good TV, and because she is, like, pinnacle like, her and Eileen, I thought were good on the show because they're, like, soap opera stars, and that's so Beverly Hills.
There's a void that Lisa Rinna left that will not be filled. She was such a big part of the show.
I know. I know. I was shocked, but, I mean, look at the I never thought they would, like, cut Vicky.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know if they'll cut Teresa, but if I had to guess, I almost feel like they will because she only gets along with, like, Jennifer Aiden.
She was asked the other day who she would want to bring back, and she only said Jen Aiden, Dolores, and Jackie.
Yeah, it's like, "Girl,
Nobody
no one
wants to
wants
watch those
Jackie."
4.
Yeah, and, like, Jackie was already fired. Bravo's not gonna bring her back, even though
No,
we know she's clawing on to you to get back.
no.
Yeah, it would have to be Melissa, and it's not even like I'm saying it because I prefer Melissa more, because I do like Teresa when she's not around Melissa. Like, when Teresa's having fun, she is still fun to watch,
She is. I think she's great TV, but we're we're done with her. You
and
know what
I'm
I
done
mean?
with Louis because he's friggin' creepy.
He's too much.
Yeah, like, when they were doing that guys' night and Joe Gorga's, like, drinking and doing the bone marrow, and he's like, "Let's all sit down and, like, record our love to our ladies." It's like, "No,
No,
that's
it's not
boring."
happening. No, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, like, "No." So that's what I mean, I don't wanna watch him.
No. You know, the husbands that I have been liking to watch are the Salt Lake City husbands. They have brought a lot of drama this season.
I need to just start watching it.
Salt Lake City?
Yeah, I mean, strike me down, I don't watch it. I need to just watch it.
Wait, you don't watch Salt Lake City? Girl.
No, I know, I have to because you know what? It's like I said, like, every year I'm like, "I can't add any more shows," because, like,
Yeah,
right
you
now, like,
can.
I watch New York, now Beverly Hills is back on, Orange County
Mhm.
is coming to an end, so I feel like I could slip like, maybe I could just start watching old ones, and, like, I know who people are, and I know, like, general storylines, so I'm like, maybe I could just start watching now, and I don't need
You
to really
should.
backtrack.
Last night's episode was epic. Um, they had a breakfast at Mary Cosby's house that did not end well.
She looks
It was
funny.
it was like Aubrey Hepburn. Meredith Marks had these bangs that were just atrocious.
Ew.
Bronwyn pulled off the look. It was a very chaotic, messy, messy breakfast. Phones were snatched out of people's hands.
Oh my god.
Yes, the husbands have been very in it this season. If anything, just watch clips from last night's episode and you'll want to get hooked and watch from the beginning.
Well, okay, that one girl, Bronwyn, is she the one with, like, the old man husband?
Yes.
So I saw this meme and it was so funny, it was like a reel, and it was that scene from Big Daddy where Adam Sandler's shaking the hand of that old guy, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were, like, with my girl," and he's like, "I am." And he's like, "What? I thought you were her dad," and then people were like, "This is Bronwyn's husband."
That's funny.
And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I need to watch because I saw a clip and I'm like, "Yeah, he looks real old and you look real
Todd.
young."
He was the CEO of Palm Pilot, like the handheld Palm Pilot.
What? She probably never even was of age to have a Palm Pilot.
Right.
I do remember this.
Yeah, so that's who he is. He allegedly in the episode purchased her a $4 million necklace. Now I'm speculating that it was like rented for the show, but they're saying that it
Uh,
was an anniversary gift. Very over the top, but I think that Bronwyn is, and I mean this when I say it, she is the best newbie housewife that I've seen from Bravo that I can even remember.
I wonder if they'll have money issues. Because if they're, like, doing that and she's probably like, "Oh my god, we have to act like this on the show," and then she'll, like, run up all their credit cards. I think that's what happened with, like, PK and Dorit. These people get
I-
so, like, caught up in, like, "Oh, I have to look rich," but then it's like, "But are you that rich to spend
Right. Do
like
you
that?"
really have that money? Right. Bronwyn
Yeah,
definitely
not
walks the
like
walk. It looks like she does.
well, then maybe they do. I mean, Palm Pilot was intense. But, like, no one has a Palm Pilot now, so it's like, "Well,
No,
wait,
and he
what do you
doesn't.
do
No, I
now?"
don't know. I don't know what he does now, but back in the day.
Yeah, that'd be like, "Oh, I invented a beeper," and it's like, "Well, no one uses that now." Oh my gosh. Well, what do you think is gonna happen on the final part of Orange County reunion?
I think based on the previews that we are going to see a very manufactured Tamra and Shannon forgiveness storyline.
I did see that
Honestly,
clip.
yeah, that clip alone made me not want to watch because I'm like, this is the fakest thing that you could
Mhm.
be doing right now.
Yeah. I just am so excited to continue for the first couple of minutes to watch Shannon annihilate Alexis because
Yes.
that was giving me life last week when she's like, "Oh, no, Alexis, you're a TV star."
Achilles star.
And then Emily and Gina are like,
Achilles.
and Katie.
Yeah, and somebody pulled up her IMDb I saw, and it was like,
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
like,
like,
"What 5 shows?"
yeah, one of the credits was like Tamara's wedding special. Like, no,
That
those don't
doesn't
count.
count. Oh my god,
No.
remember when she did, like, the weather or something? Or was, like, a news
Hmm.
anchor for probably, like, you weren't a news anchor, like, that was literally probably, like, the localist news, which I
Right.
still can't even believe she went on because she was awful.
She did like a little guest spot and said she was an anchor. That was like her storyline for a while.
Yeah, I mean, do you think we'll see her next season, or do you think it's like, "We're done with you"?
I hope it's we're done with you because I'm done with her. I
Mhm.
think that she came, she
Same.
wreaked havoc. She really didn't have a place on the show outside of Shannon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and she's like, "Stop talking about John, Shannon." It's like, she doesn't want to, but, like, you're here, like, barking about him.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
I think if Alexis wasn't there at all, like, I don't think Shannon would have talked about John literally at all.
Unless the lawsuit was going on, maybe she would have brought it up, but it would he would not have been such a topic of conversation had Alexis not been on,
Mm-mm.
obviously. Shannon was moving on. I could see her wanting to be in her like fun, flirty, single era, wanting
Mhm.
to thrive, and then Alexis shows up and she's
Yeah.
like, "Okay, you got to be kidding me."
Yeah, I love that she's like, "Well, I'm here," and she's like, "Yeah, you're a friend as a friend."
That's a
And it's true.
friend.
I mean, if she thinks she's gonna, like, come back and be a full-blown housewife, it's like, I don't even think she was a fan favorite back in the day. So it's
No.
like, why would you think you're gonna come back now? Because I haven't read one positive comment about her all season. So it's like, they are not gonna ask you back because they will then take the risk that people won't watch.
Right. I wouldn't watch if she was a full I mean, of
Mm-mm.
course I'll watch the franchise, but I wouldn't watch for her being a full-time housewife.
Right.
No.
I
I think
know.
that the
And then Shannon
cast
wouldn't film.
right. I think the cast could stay the same, maybe add a newbie. I think Katie and Jen are great. I want them to stay. I think Katie
Mhm.
was a fantastic newbie. I'd like to see them come back next season and see more of their like personal storyline.
I know. So I'm wondering, like, what'll happen between Katie and Heather because you could tell Fancy Pants doesn't want Katie around.
Mhm, they did not seem I mean, maybe we'll see more, resolve to that tonight, but when Heather doesn't like you, she's done with you.
Yeah.
I don't she's
She was
not
on
the one
Melissa
to
Gorga's Did you see she was on Melissa Gorga's podcast? And I listened to it today, and, they were talking about, like, the past season, and then Heather's like, "Yeah, that girl they brought on to, like, talk about me," and I'm like, "Wait, is she talking about Katie?" She didn't even use her by name. She said,
she didn't
"That
wanna
girl."
name her? Oh,
Yeah. I'm like, "Name them." And then she later did so Melissa was like I don't know if Melissa didn't even know who Heather was talking about, and she's like, "Yeah, how about you and Katie?" And I'm like, "Well, that's who she was talking about."
she didn't realize.
No. But then I think what we're gonna see on the final part of the reunion is, like, Jen is oddly, like, friends with Alexis, and
Very
then
yeah.
yeah, they were like, "Yeah, we think that's weird and mean," and I do too, because it's like, I think it's weird enough Tamra all of a sudden is friends with her, but at least Tamra knew Alexis from before, not that she liked her from before, but, like, Jen, you
Mhm.
just met her. And she's treating Shannon like this because Shannon was like, "I wouldn't be friends with someone if I knew they were treating you like this," which I agree.
I
It's
agree
really
too.
hard to
Somebody
have
that's going
separate friendships.
right, and Alexis is going so hard. It's not like she's
Mhm.
being passive and she's innocent in this. She's going so hard.
Mhm.
So for Jen to like, I mean, if it does happen, kind of like befriend her, it does seem a little off.
And I bet it's, like, Alexis trying to befriend her because I think that was Alexis's plan. "Let me come on, befriend everyone, and then Shannon, I will take her spot."
Absolutely. That's what
And
she
it's like,
wanted to
"No."
happen. She
Mhm.
said, "This is my job." And it's like, you chose to come back.
Yeah, and
It
it's
was
like
not your job the last 10 years.
that's when I love when Shannon whispered to Gina, she went, "Oh, it's her career."
It's her career.
She's like, "Andy, I just had to come back to work." And it's like, "What do you mean?"
She needed
I
the
know, I did
money.
like, though, that Heather was like yeah, no, for sure. I because she probably doesn't get any, I think the 2 kids are adults, so she doesn't get child support from Jim, and she's gonna waive that alimony now since she's gonna get married to Johnny J.
Yeah.
Jim Bellino's probably
Uh,
like, "Please get married, yay."
please get her away from me.
Yeah.
So what do you want to see for the reunion tonight? Is there any resolution you want to see? Do you want to see any storylines wrapped up?
I think it'd be nice if Heather could get over Katie's thing because it's like, at the end of the day, looking at the Shannon and Alexis and Tamra, like, shitstorm that Shannon went through all season, it's like, do you really need to be that petty over the paparazzi thing? I
Right.
mean, if I had to bet on it at the end of the day, I do think Heather called, but it's like, who cares? Like, that's not damaging, like Tamara was calling Shannon an alcoholic all season. That's damaging to your
That's
reputation.
damaging.
You calling the
Right.
paparazzi on you and your husband going like this is not damaging. It's just kinda
No.
funny.
Tamara has a way of saying things about people that are very damaging.
Yes.
And
Let's dive into that.
let's dive into
You are
it.
the
Okay.
hot
So,
topic.
hot topic. That was fun recapping. Um, let's talk about Tamra Judge, I guess. So, from your
Mhm.
point of view, what did you see going on?
So I saw somebody else post the video of Tamara saying, "Oh, the Bravo babe, you better shut your mouth and I'm coming for you." And I went, "Wait, I know her." And I'm like, "What's she saying? Like, she's so nice." And then saw your video and you said that all you did was repost something that was like on an official website or like already
Yes.
posted. You just shared it.
Right. I was sent a website. I clicked on the website. I screenshotted the information that was on said website.
Mhm.
I posted it. And in my caption, I said, "What if I told you this housewife had a relationship with this blog site?" You know, I didn't present anything as fact. I posted it,
Mhm.
sure, but I didn't, hashtag facts.
Yeah.
Within an hour, Tamara responded with that video saying that I had a lot to say about her and that I'd be hearing from her attorney, none of which happened.
Good.
No, but you know what I guess I feel like the issue is for me is that Tamara has millions of followers. And she
Mhm.
put out there that I was harassing her, which didn't happen. So for me, that was damaging.
Yes.
The what I posted was deleted. It's still out there in the public domain, but I personally deleted it.
Mhm.
It appears that the website might have questionable information on it. Whatever, that's not my problem. That's not my fault. I'm not the
I
website.
I know.
I posted what was from the website. So for her to have such a strong reaction surprised me. Um, yeah, I kind of just left it where it was with my last video explaining myself, and I didn't hear from Tamra. I know that she's talked to a couple other pages about me, but not to me directly.
And that's wild because you were just on her and Teddy's podcast and did that little, like, different bloggers they had on, and she, like, kinda threw that in your face, like, "Oh, you were on our podcast, and this is how you
Right.
treat me," and it's kinda like, I don't know, she's like a say as do as I say, not as I do.
As I do. And I've always, said how grateful I was to be on that podcast. And even my one of the videos I made, I was like, I'm so thankful that I was on it. But, just
Mhm.
because I was on your podcast doesn't mean my opinion of you is going to be in your favor all the time. I don't
Yeah.
agree with what she was doing the last couple episodes, the back end of the Real Housewives of Orange County. And I'm a
Mhm.
content creator. I have a podcast. I'm going to talk about what I'm watching. And me saying I'm leaving the Tamra Judge fan club is not harassment.
I know, and that's like, remember, it's my opinion.
Right. That's
Like,
exactly what it is.
she even said it herself. And I think it's just because she's gotten so much hate this season. Like, she even messaged me when I did a podcast with the official Bravo mom, and she's like, "Be nice to me, LOL." And I was like, "Oh my god, is Tamra Judge slipping in my DMs right now, telling me to be nice to her?" Like, at first, I was like, I was so excited, and then I was like, "I can't believe you're like that." Kinda like almost hunting down the negative stuff, or like I
Right.
posted this picture in the beginning of the season when she had on this T-shirt that had something to do with Alexis, and then she's like, "If you woulda seen the back, you would have understood," and I'm like, "Damn." Like, she really, I think, was panicked how people were treating her and reacting to her being close to Alexis, but it shocked us all, it was confusing. Like, she was part of a lawsuit with you back in the day, because we saw the text from Shannon,
Right. It
and
was just
now you're
not
friends
her
with her
season.
icing Shannon out.
It
Mm-mm.
was not her season. And coming after, a content creator, a Bravo page over a post that could have
Yeah,
been discussed, I think that
yeah,
it said a lot about where she is right now. And I think that I have to just leave it at that because on my end, it was kind of one-sided. So I
yeah.
just
Did she
responded
block
how I
you?
wanted to respond. It was a mutual block. I know I blocked
Yeah.
her.
Oh, okay. Like Jax Taylor.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it's hard. I mean, personally for me, I could not have, like, my comments on if I was these people.
Oh, no, I couldn't either.
Like, I wouldn't wanna
I don't
see and
have
read
the
anything.
right.
Well, I wanna know what she's gonna say to her co-host, Little Miss Teddy Mellencamp, because there's no way talking your way out of that one, Teddy. I mean, having
No,
an
and
affair.
no,
You're
and from
married
everything
and have
I've
kids.
read, yeah,
He's
it
married.
seems like it is true from everything I've read.
Oh, yeah, and she basically said it, so I listened to the beginning of their podcast last week to see if Teddy would say anything or, like, Tamara would say anything to her, and
Mhm.
Teddy's like, she didn't really say like, "Oh, yeah, I had an affair with my horse trainer," but she was saying like, "This is, like, a lot," and, like, she wasn't saying like, "Oh, this is all fake."
Right.
And they're
And
getting divorced. Like, she was leaving,
I don't know.
and
I
that
think
horse
that
trainer's ugly.
oh my God,
Just
I know.
saying. I mean, putting morals aside because it's just morally corrupt,
But
Faye
that aside,
Resnick.
like, what are we seeing here?
Yeah. Yeah, like, I was like, "Wait, he's so ugly." Like,
Like, really,
this is your fantasy?
this is who you cheated on with. No,
Yeah, because Teddy's a pretty girl. Like, I know people didn't like her really as a housewife, but she's an attractive girl.
no, she really is. I'm
So, like, I
curious to
was like,
see.
"No."
Yeah, I'm curious to see on the podcast how they going forward are going to address it.
Well, I mean, Tamara better nail her to the cross like she did Shannon.
Right. I mean, that was your friend too, you know?
Yeah. And I read that while Teddy and the horse trainer were together one day, that that was the day his wife was giving birth to their child.
Yes. In a
So
different
it's like,
state.
You're disgusting. You're a mother."
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how people can cheat that are married, but when you cheat and you have kids and then the other person has kids, like, what that woman is going through because you're a mom.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So it's terrible. Yeah, but they better talk about it because that's what I mean. Sorry that you did that and you chose to be a little hoe, but you're gonna have to now talk about it.
Now you're gonna have to answer for it. And I do hope that
Mhm,
Tamara gets it out of her. Maybe it'll take Teddy going on somebody else's podcast because Tamara might be the one to
mhm.
do it.
Oh, Nick Vile.
Have her go on the Bio Files.
I feel like he always gets people to crack.
He would be a good one for her to go on.
Or, like, he gets people after scandals, like, he had Lindsay on and he had Sandoval, like, he needs
Mhm.
to get Jax or Brittany. I don't think he's had them.
He gets those big names though.
I know. I
Well, this was fun
I
recapping and
know.
getting all of the new Bravo drama
I
out
know, this
there.
was so fun. I know, I feel like we're back. I feel like we had a dry spell a little bit for Bravo, but now we're back.
We're back. We have shows to look forward to. Don't sleep on Southern
Mhm.
Hospitality. We have Southern Charm coming. You know, Beverly Hills is brand new, and Watch What Happens Live
Mhm.
is pumping out new episodes. So we are being fed with Bravo content.
I know, thank God for the cold winter months that we don't wanna go out.
Right.
Well, this was so fun, and I'm looking forward to do this once a month. This will be so much fun.
Yes, we're gonna have to come up with like a cute name for it. So anybody listening, if you have like suggestions for us, shoot them in
Yes.
the comments. Let us know what you think we should call our little monthly segment together.
Yes, love it.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. I'm Christina, and you can find me at the Bravo Babe on Instagram, Twitter. I did make a blue sky. We'll talk about that another time. But yeah,
Oh.
at the Bravo Babe is where you can find me.
And I am Erika, Bravo T with the stay-at-home mom. You can find me on Instagram. Love to do the TikToks.
Love TikTok. I'm getting used to TikTok.
I know, I'm telling my husband, I was like, "You have to do that suspect trend with me."
That's so funny.
I wanna do it with my dog too.
I want to do it with my child.
I know,
All
I
right.
know. I feel like my kids won't get it, so I'm like, I'll just have to
That would
suck
be
somebody
funny.
else into.
All right, everybody will follow along. And thank you very much for listening to our first monthly recap.
Yeah, so much fun. See ya.